There's other aspects to that my eyes can't pick up on the small screen because I'm
Yeah,
old
it
now.
is a little small, but I think this is a great diagram. So exile is
Yep.
anybody who holds painful emotions that have been isolated from conscious self for protection
Right.
of the system or for the parts of safety. Can become increasingly extreme in their efforts to be cared for and share their story. Carries burdens from
Yes.
being wounded. Examples: rage, dependency, shame, fear, terror, grief, loss, loneliness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So pretty apt description. Dr. Schwartz was genius in his approach on this. I usually share with people Spotify podcast with Dr. Richard Schwartz and 5 Hour Work Week. What's his name? Tim. I'll think of it when I'm not trying to think of it.
Of course. I've got one called 4 Hour Work Week. I thought
Yeah, 4 Hour Work Week. Tim Ferriss. Yeah. So Tim Ferriss and Dr. Schwartz talk about IFS, and he goes through the history of it and then example of it. So what this is saying, and this is where I got to this point, let me kind of identify firefighters. So in the top left that I see are managers. The bottom center are firefighters. Managers are proactive. They're trying to manage boundaries, keep us safe. But when something breaches the boundary, we're very overactive, very reactive. And these are some of the behaviors, very protracted. So we get a lot of addictions: sleep, shopping, work, sex, diet, exercise, computer, video games, iPhones, right? Or any technological phones. Binge eating, right? I'm nervous, so I'm just going to eat. Those are the 7 things, according to Dr. Siegel's Healthy Mind Platter, that we have to have. So knowing that, how do we take in all of these things? I'm going to pitch a book real quickly because I think it's a great resource. He would be a great person for the podcast. But this is called Operator Syndrome by Dr. Chris Free. There's many things. And if you get to the table of contents, right? In the table of contents, part 2, he's listed out about 15 different things that are afflicting us. Okay. They've got some really incredible ones. Look at you. Somebody's techie.
I had to find out more. So that's the chair.
Yeah, that's the chair.
Let's look at this. Is what people are.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, and this is what I deal with a lot, is there are somatic anchors. Remember I said the nervous system is it's incorporated in our body, head to toe, finger to finger, toe to toe. And when I do the work that I do, and a lot of what we're talking about has to do with the neurological status of what a person's at, PTSD, the anxiety, depression. By the way, when you work with people, I would encourage you to do some anxiety and depression surveys and then every 3 months or 2 years, reassess it. And I will almost guarantee that you will see positive results in that. When I work with people, remember we talked about IFS, and we would start by saying, okay, let's talk about something that bothered you. I got a flashback. I remembered this code that we ran and the person didn't make it. Okay. We were not successful in resuscitating. And I would ask them, okay, where does that coalesce energy in your body? And I might say, my stomach. Okay. So just focus on that. So even after a 5-minute introduction session, I will ask people, how do you feel now? Because just like in medicine, assess, treat, reassess. So I go, after sitting in this, how do you feel? And they're like, I feel relaxed. And I'm like, what about your cognition, the content of your mind? They're like, clear, free, peaceful. Do you like that? Yeah.